9 Morning Routines for Quicker Muscle Growth. Your morning routine might affect your day. Motivation for fat loss and muscular gain. Among other things, productivity. Pertaining to having a more generalized. You may have heard of a successful person. Think making your bed is sufficient. Getting more energy in the morning can assist. The remainder of the complex jobs completed. The day, there are also some that morning routines that may be beneficial or impede your capacity to add muscle and achieve a more appealing physique. And if not the finest morning routine, you are committed to gaining muscle, right? Should consume a substantial breakfast despite your breakfast is not always necessary. The best course of action is to, if you want, eat first thing in the morning. Do you want to maximize muscular growth? As the primary nutritional need for to be in a calorie deficit while bulking up excess, and if you want to put on weight without excessively increasing body fat in the throughout the process, you will mainly be eating wholesome foods that are quite full. The more you move, the more calories you burn. The longer you will have by skipping meals. To process the high calorie intake, you must consume on a daily basis, on which to build. Sure, a lot of people are of taking supplements and bulk gainers too. They boost their calorie intake too. Their daily excess needs are not. This not only causes weight gain because of the bulk gainer's sugar content supplements, but there is also proof for them. Believe natural meals are best for you results than those that have been processed, so possibly you have heard that you ought to try consume complete meals rather than supplements. Protein wherever possible for research, for instance, demonstrates that whole milk promotes increased protein synthesis compared to skim milk, despite the less protein is found in whole milk than. This is most likely caused by the skim milk. Since we have the food processing, other research discovered that even after combining casein with milk fat it continued to be a milk-based protein source, boosting the production of muscle proteins. In addition to processing, we are unsure about. Chances are high because of what we do not know. We have not found every crucial thing. Minerals, chemicals, and vitamins present in actual food and how those ingredients affect muscle growth. Thus this is the beginning. Begin the day with a hearty meal composed of authentic healthy foods to help you gain a lot early on to your daily total of calories, while allowing you time to savor before to your upcoming meal. Having yet another bad habit beneficial for some individuals is to obtain immediately after waking up, you complete your workout. Despite the fact that studies suggest you'll probably be capable of lifting greater weight and become more robust in the late afternoon and after hours exercise, you won't. If you are not making any progress at all, avoiding your afternoon or evening activities, exercises. So if you have trouble arriving the gym following work or you are busy, a schedule that usually discharges you whenever you are worn out, be sure to get exercising first thing in the waking up early and exercising first. If you can, do it first thing in the morning. Later, you catch yourself feigning ignorance. Daytime because it ensures that you really complete it, which is great. More significant than a minor advantage. Possible boost you will experience, assuming you eventually make it to the gym. Day to day, this goes along with. You might want to start with something else. First thing to drink in the morning. Obviously, coffee is not necessary. However, it might promote muscle growth, particularly if you train early. According to study, a dose of about 250 caffeine mg in the morning increases the readiness of neuromuscular performance at levels similar to afternoon Additionally, caffeine improves performance and inspiration to exercise. So if you exercise, consider consuming an in the morning. Perhaps a pre-workout pill or coffee. Adding caffeine first is something else. This might increase your energy and offer. Taking a morning break is inspiration. Taking a chilly shower right now will not cause your muscles to expand. Having a cold shower will help on its own. You can enhance your vitality and, while enhancing your mental state, hardiness, or more simply, your capacity to take risks and even uncomfortable actions, or you do not want to do a lot of. If they take a, people notice that morning cold shower, they develop more efficient for the remainder of, because they have already had the day, their first victory and gained confidence going, which can encourage you to additionally perform your exercise. Cold baths can lessen swelling in. One way a cold shower might benefit your body can achieve this by lowering concentrations of TNF-alpha, a powerful chemical that causes inflammation to increase. Favorable impact due of an abundance. Inflammation levels might cause muscle to sluggish. Thus take a cold medicine now. Take a shower in the morning, particularly if you will be inspired to do nice deeds. The remainder of the day's decisions, such as getting enough sleep and eating. Using the gym is yet another really healthy habit. Eat well to increase muscular mass. Early most people's protein intake. Difficulty consuming enough protein. Protein is highly important throughout the day, so that when you are trying to construct muscle, protein is probably a macronutrient that will provide for you issues with consuming enough of it. That is one of the reasons it is a smart move to possess a sufficient source of protein, even though with your breakfast. Intermittent exercise can help you gain muscle. Numerous people who cram food while fasting, a possible 8-hour feeding window, make it tough for the calorie to be consumed. They must have surplus to sustain. Muscular growth is the second justification for the desire to possess enough breakfast with protein is because various research indicates that spreading protein more evenly spaced daily calorie consumption can result from at least 4 meals better gains in muscle mass compared to either having an imbalanced protein intake that significantly alters between meals, eating fewer meals or more frequently. The following habit is truly the day's. The first thing you should do is make an. Most people set an alarm and awaken at the same time. Weekends, of course, in the mornings. Although going to bed, one could still sleep in. And rising at roughly the same time each day. One of the most effective strategies to improve the level of your slumber as determined by a. Research show that sleep is almost always correct. Up there in terms of diet and exercise. Of its effect on research into muscular growth. Demonstrates as well that those with a thinner sleep schedule than usual. Those without a regular bedtime, regardless of the amount of sleep they get. Hence one of the most effective ways to maintain a regular sleeping routine is by rising at approximately the same time. If you follow through, every morning, the moment each morning when you awaken, you will probably also begin naturally sleeping at roughly the same time. Whenever you leave for work or school these days, you will also want to plan for morning school. Packing a lunch not only enables you to a more evenly dispersed budget for you, however it also aids you in hitting your daily caloric surplus goal. You can order a lunch if you do not bring one. You probably will not figure something out. Understanding the calorie and macro counts includes and, for the most part, there's added sugar or more oil when there is protein. Because it is more, it is minimized. Pricey, which increases its value. Staying thin when gaining is challenging. While eating lunch, add muscle. If you are prepared in advance, even if you are busy, eat something. You are busy at work and cannot leave. Go out and place a food order, and should get up early and do. Being rehydrated, the typical person loses 10 to 14 ounces of water about via breathing all day long. And a significant portion of this loss, precisely how much occurs during sleeping. You lose when you sleep is primarily based on whether you perspire at night. Whenever you breathe from your nose or you're using your mouth or nose, because mouth breathing increases water loss as a result of this. You will probably experience water loss. At the very least, a mild level of dehydration. The moment you awaken, which actually hinders the development of muscle because protein synthesis is decreased by dehydration. This increases rates of protein degradation, causing it to be more difficult to develop muscle and heal from your exercising after rehydrating in the morning. Getting up early is much more crucial if you decide to exercise in the morning. Thus, even if you are just a little dehydration, research demonstrates that it decrease your desire to exercise as well, increase tiredness sensations, and reduce the effectiveness of exercise. Thus, after you wake up, a glass of water. Especially if you feel really thirsty, can surely highly assist in obtaining any sort of brilliant light exposure first thing in the morning, or at the very exposure to the early afternoon light has a substantial impact on your circadian rhythm. Rhythm is another word for internal clock. This internal clock has a variety of effects, including the physiological processes. Hormone release, for instance, increases in cortisol levels as a result of, to help you feel more awake in the morning, while oppositely inducing a decrease in cortisol in place of melatonin at night to assist. One of the most effective ways you can help your cricketing rhythm by putting oneself in the bright light. This wakes up your internal clock in the morning. The fact that it is morning, which likely, since research indicate that morning exposure to bright light enhances emotions of vigilance, performance, and attentiveness, enthusiasm and action on this right away. The morning will aid in your ability to sleep. This is quite helpful in the evening, because adequate slumber is essential for. If you do not receive much, start building muscle today. Possibly wish to augment your sun exposure with vitamin D first thing in the morning. Is important for your body, yet the issue that 41.6% of the population in the United States has a shortfall. Vitamin D deficiency is harmful to your health, but studies also demonstrate that strength is influenced by your vitamin D levels. Improvement, performance, and studies on your post-workout recovery, demonstrating that males with enough amounts of vitamin D frequently have considerably more testosterone. For a research where healthy males were the example, took vitamin D in 3,332 international units. They collected 25 each day for a year. Testosterone levels that are percent higher than individuals who ingested a placebo. One final thing before I let you go. Desire to practice meditation in the morning. Excessive stress is well known to detrimental to almost every part of your, in fact, health and well-being can even hasten your death, but too much stress can hinder the development of muscles, and a published study on your exercise performance in the Strength and Fitness Journal. Studies on conditioning discovered a 9 times thigh larger percentage change circumference in a group under low stress compared to another group under intense stress. Study discovered a variation in the between low and high recovery rates. stress-related topics, or having the had been under a lot of mental strain. Participants' ability for recuperation is reduced. Thankfully, meditation can benefit you. You do not need to spend any money. One need search for guided meditations on Practice Meditating on free YouTube. 15 minutes every morning to ensure. I think that about sums it up as always. If the video has given you some inspiration, ensure that you sign up for the. Likewise, if you are considering accepting a real challenge where you will receive a special eating schedule, recipe book, a gradual exercise program, a complete video archive collection, and a coach. Free, and all you have to do is visit my website and sign up for the test. As long as you increase by 15 pounds of muscle in a 12-week period with our program, which also considers water weight, your initial payment will be fully refunded. Make a deposit to receive a free challenge. We suspend the down payment over year to persuade you to take action and follow the strategy through to completion. This type of mechanism enables us to having a 93% success rate of our clients reach their objectives. I secretly hope you are so amazed based on your coaching outcomes, which you keep practicing with us even after the challenge is ended. You are still not required to stay. So to learn more information, please click the link in the description, or continue straight. Please visit my webpage at gravitytransformation.com. I will soon see you folks.